Okay, so thank you very much. My name is Dario Daghero, and I am the Deputy Coordinator of the PhD course in Physics. And in the next few minutes, I will try to give you some hints about what this PhD course offers. Well, first of all, the students will have the possibility to learn, and this is necessary, of course, and it is also highly desired in order to deepen and widen the knowledge of the students in physics, but even more specifically in some specific fields of physics. Okay, this activity is, of the didactic activity is possible thanks to the very wide large number of doctoral courses offered by the PhD course in physics. Clearly, the students will also have to carry out their own research. This is the key point and the core activity of the PhD course in physics. This research is carried out by the students themselves, clearly, but with the help and with the supervision of professors. And the outcome of this research is normally some scientific publication and the presentation of the results at a conference that can be national or international conferences. The students will also have the possibility to carry out part of their activity abroad, and this is something that we always how can I say, wish. And so this is a list of places where the students of the last year have spent 3 months, 6 months, it depends, of course. So we go from Lyon in France to Cambridge in the UK, Dresden in Germany, Berkeley in the USA. So we have collaborations with many different universities in the world. We also, I would like to point out that what is typical of the PhD course in physics at Politecnico is the interdisciplinary framework, because the students that work here or study here, if you prefer, will have the possibility to directly interact with professors and colleagues who work in material engineering, in chemistry, in biology, and they all work in the same department, which is the DSAT, Department of Applied Science and Technology. And so this is a very useful to exchange ideas, to have new ideas, and to cross-fertilize the research. We also have partnerships and collaborations with different institutions that are external to Politecnico, like the Italian Institute of Meteorological Research here in Torino, the Italian Institute for Genomic Medicine, the Italian Institute of Technology, the Italian Institute of Nuclear Physics, and CERN in Geneva, in Switzerland, and so on. Sorry, I don't know. Okay, this is a list of the research and training areas. In principle, we have 4 main fields of research that correspond also to the areas in which the PhD student will have the possibility to be educated: experimental physics of matter, theoretical physics of matter, physics of complex systems, and high energy physics. As far as the experimental physics of matter is concerned, we have different subfields that correspond more or less to different groups of research. That these fields go from nanomaterials to nanotechnologies applied to life science, quantum optics, materials and devices for energy harvesting and storage, superconductivity, magnetism, nonlinear elastic waves, and metamaterials. Theoretical physics of matter is a field of research that deals with computational condensed matter physics. That means simulating the properties of matter by first principle calculations, but also nanophysics and quantum systems and quantum information and entanglement. And this is very fashion now with the quantum computing, which is starting. The physics of complex systems mainly consists in the application of statistical physics to different fields. So it's really interdisciplinary in nature, because the applications go from biology to genetics to medicine to machine learning and so on. Finally, we have also high energy physics. Here we have 2 different approaches. One is mainly theoretical, and this is especially dealing with supergravity and string theory. And the other is most experimental, and this deals with experimental nuclear and particle physics and also plasma physics. What are the facilities that the department can offer to our PhD students? Well, there are many of them. We have about 15 different laboratories that belong to the various experimental groups, and these, of course, are meant to carry out the research in the different fields that I mentioned before. In addition to the equipment that is available in the individual labs, there are also department facilities, and these are very important because they are very top-notch equipment. We have electron microscopy, both the transmission electron microscopy, and scanning electron microscopy. We have focused ion beam, we have X-ray diffraction, chemical composition analysis, AFM microscopy, and so on. So these are equipment that are available in the department. So in principle, they can be used by all the people who work here. We also have, for those who choose instead to have choose to carry out research, which is mainly computational or theoretical, workstations and CPU arrays, but also access to high-performance facilities like HPC at Polito or Cineca, which is a national infrastructure. Then, at the end, what are the career opportunities for a student who chooses the PhD in physics? Well, there are manifold. There are many of these. These opportunities. Well, first, the most natural for most students is the academic career. So many students have continued their research as postdoc researchers in Italy or abroad. This has been possible in universities, but also in research institute, like the Institute for Meteorological Research, CNR, INFN, and so on. Some students instead choose to work in the private sector, mainly for data analysis, for insurance, automotive fields, and so on, or in the high-tech sector, mainly in startup startup activities. Then there is also the industrial research and development, especially in the field of material science, as far as the specific field is concerned, because as you have seen, we are very strong in the material science here in Politecnico, but also scientific editions. One former student of mine has become the editor of a very important international journal in physics, and physics teaching in high school, for example. But for example, another student who is now at present policy officer at the European Commission. So there is plenty of possibilities after the PhD course in physics, in particular here at Polytechnic. So I think I have finished, and you can visit our webpage for further information about all the details. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor, for this interesting presentation. I would like to place a question before we pass to the next presentation. I wanted to ask, in which way does the research in physics is carried out at Politecnico address the present challenges like climate change, renewable and green energies, and so on?
Yes, as I said before, there is a number of different groups who work on different fields, mainly connected with the 4 big areas that I mentioned before. And there is actually, one can find that in each of these areas, there is somebody who is working explicitly in some field that that deals with the challenges of climate change and environment preservation, and also energy storage and renewable energy storage and harvesting. I think I have something about that. Yes, okay. We have some groups who work in the research about eco-friendly materials produced, for example, by starting from waste materials that are again used for other purposes, but also advanced materials for renewable energy, namely photosynthesis, artificial photosynthesis, or photovoltaic systems, photocatalysis and water splitting, but also energy storage in supercapacitor, and also for the blue energy, graphene membranes for salinity gradient power or raw materials recovery from seawater, materials and technologies for the reduction of carbon dioxide, and also there is a branch of research that deals with the fusion, nuclear fusion, which is apparently one of the possibilities for the future production of energy. There is a study of the radiation hardness of superconducting materials that are used in fusion reactors, and there is a group who works in plasma physics and controlled thermonuclear fusion explicitly, and also there is a study about superconductivity for new energy storage system and for energy transport. Okay, of course, some of these activities are partly in superposition with the activities that have been already mentioned by my colleague Lamberti, because the groups involved are sometimes the same. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Daguero. To all the participants interested in this PhD program in physics, you can place your questions in the Q&A box and we will answer them at the end of the session. Thank you again, Professor Daguero.